This is day 1, and here we have Russell sleeping, relaxing after a long flight, getting ready for tomorrow's work. And over on the other side we have David Haddon. Here's David Haddon picking his nose, reading interesting Baha'i literature. And here again is Russell Maxey. Such a cute little baby. This is day 1. Got only 2 months to go. We're rolling. The apologetic hour has come. Eric or Charles or whoever you feels like editing this mess, I want to apologize for the inconsistency of the shots. I'll look at the time code later on and try to figure it out and write down on a little piece of paper what is on and how, in what order it should be. And I want to also apologize for the poor quality of the shots. I hope that the color balance is correct most of the time. We've been dealing with fairly good equipment. I like the camera, but the tripod is rotten. I brought my own because I wanted to do some photographs around the temple, which I have done. But I didn't know that David didn't bring, wasn't going to bring the tripod that you offered him. So we've been dealing with a very poor tripod, and so the pans and the zooms and all of that, I think you might just toss away. As I said, the soundtracks that I've been recording out in the gardens now could be used as background sound later on. We also plan to go back, hold this microphone right. We also plan to go back to Auntie Claire's kindergarten to do some more background sound there, of the children playing in the garden as well. Janice has put together a very nice manuscript, which she has faxed to you, I believe, Charles. And I haven't read it myself, which I'd like to. This has been just as much a learning experience for me and all the mistakes that come with it. For example, that I should read the manuscript before I start shooting so that I can help to make everything consistent. The video itself will be used for an exhibit that is going to take place, I think, 5 weeks from now. So the hope is that David, in cooperation with you, will be able to edit a video and send it back over here. I'd actually advise you to send 2 copies by 2 different means, for example, DHL and normal airmail, so that one of those 2 copies is sure to come through, because not everything comes through. We're still waiting for the chemicals, for example. And we've been just sitting around for the last 2 weeks doing little but making this video and also some pressure washing on the temple. The shots, the footage just before this interview here showed you the top of the temple, and you see how pitch black it is and how pitch black it probably will still be for a couple of weeks before we get the chemicals. It's a sad story, the whole thing, but we're enjoying ourselves here. Isn't that right, Russell?
Yeah.
What have you been doing? What has he been doing? You better tell me later on. Oh, you made fun of me? Don't make fun of me. Anyway, I'll look at the footage later on. One of the problems here, though, is that we have no water left. Electricity is out, so I'm not getting the batteries charged. This is the last battery that I have right now, so I'm going to make this interview as short as possible. And we're out of food at the moment, so we're enjoying ourselves. We're living the life of Africans. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Tests, difficulties. Russell has been to Rakai. Actually, this will be good for the newsreel. So, Russell Maxey, and this weekend you went to Rakai. Would you care to tell us a little bit about it? Were there any special experiences? For example, how many Baha'is were there now, and when did the Baha'i faith come to Rakhine?
Well, in the short history of the faith in Rakhine.
Wait a minute. What we're going to do is I'm going to put this in. We are ready. You can talk to me when you sit here. The short history.
In the short history of the faith of Rakhine.
Again,
brought there.
My voice in the background.
Huh? Yeah. In the short history of the faith in Rakhine district, it was brought there by a young Australian who was here, Benjamin. I don't know his last name. But the people kept talking about Benjamin, kept thinking I was from Australia, I must be his brother, and because it's very rare for them to have a white person, a Mzungu, visiting their district. It's a fairly remote area of southern Uganda, and the meeting we had Saturday night after a traditional burial that we attended. There were about 80 Baha'is there, among an audience of about 100, 120. Many children. Some of the children got up and sang some Baha'i songs, some traditional songs, did some traditional dancing. They were very good.
Tell us how short the history of the faith in Rakhine is, and how many Baha'is have declared during that period.
There was a young boy from Rakhine who met Benjamin as he was walking up to the house of worship. Some children were singing a common song, Mzungu, how are you? Mzungu, how are you? And he said, no, I'm not a Mzungu, I'm a Baha'i. And one young man from Rakhine was impressed by this, and he said, I want to take you to my home. You have to come with me. So they went, and the young man shortly after became a Baha'i. And for some reason, many people of influence, many of the older men who are really community leaders, have become Baha'is. Because of that, even though there is opposition in Rakhine to the faith, many people have felt more comfortable in accepting it. People from the very outset say they have no problems accepting the Baha'i teachings. What remains is for them to see what they can do with it themselves. So Benjamin and his newfound friend went to Rakhine, traveled to 3 different areas, I believe, around the town that we stayed in, Buyamba, and people are very receptive. We had 5 declarations at the meeting Saturday night. And a lot of openness. Like I said, there were about 80 Baha'is at the meeting. Some of the Baha'is from the farther areas couldn't come because they didn't have enough advance notice, and transportation is very difficult in the area. But for every hardship you have, there are also bounties on the other side. It was hard to get to the areas, but good results came when we went. People were generally glad to hear the message, and had no opposition. Many people haven't really been dogmatized at all. They have their traditional beliefs and their simple way of life, and that's it.
We were thinking about going with the camera. Oh no, this battery is out as well. But because of the dangers involved, because of the long travel, and because I want David to be able to return this video camera to you, it was decided that we shouldn't. Then there were other reasons as well. Otherwise, it would have been a lot of good pictures for you, Charles, to include in the newsreel, as there was a bunch of girls dancing traditional dances, and lots of good food, and happy people. The Africans are happy people. Anyway, good luck to you in editing all of this. I will write a letter. So, bye-bye for now.